Do you think it might have been an issue how you found her? Like, because you say you guys met at a party. You think the environment might have played a part into that?
I believe so. Yes. So because one, the party scene is party scene.
Yeah.
But I think one of the other things is that we never actually got a time to really get to know each other and develop together.
So everything just kind of moved in fast. It felt perfect at first, so it just kind of fell into place.
Yeah.
Like,
so
before you could do your background check and like, do the whole thing.
So we just kind of just jumped straight into the relationship, and that's where like we kind of figured out that we're a little bit more of two different people. Like both of us were focused on
not as
careers.
compatible as you thought.
Exactly. And so I think that's been one of the problems lately is just that people kind of just jump straight into the relationship while skipping that friendship stage without actually getting to know each other and understanding like how everybody is.
So on that note that you mentioned that, what do you guys think about nowadays being that like mainstream everything is off social media? Like, I don't know if you had a chance to or anything like lately, just even like speaking to a woman, if you spoke her out in public, you're trying to get her number or something like that, like she's going to give you her Instagram or her Snapchat instead of her phone number. Like she's not going to, I mean, I get it. And it's nowadays, like once they say like, here, I'll add you. And once they check you out, before they even answer your DM or like that, let me just go through this page because that's like the new electronic resume. Let me see how he's living his lifestyle. Let me see what he does. Let me see who he knows. Like, do you think that has a lot to do with like why like dating nowadays is just bad?
I believe so. I think it's just like now so many people are focused on that social media aspect rather than that, again, getting that personal note. And just regardless, it's always now that first impression off of your Instagram or off your Snapchat or off of your Twitter.
If your followers ain't up, your likes ain't up, they don't even pay attention. And
then I think that now because of that is that people see all these Instagram accounts, people see all these like photos and just that actual social media presence, and then in reality it's gonna be a whole different aspect. So I think because of the social media, it sets up this new standard for people to see like, okay, well, he's not as popular, or his photos aren't that good, and his appearance wise or stuff like that, but you can't tell somebody's personality based off of their photos.
Yeah,
their social media presence might show a little bit about it, but it's half the time it's just them reposting other content or other memes.
I think like nowadays a lot of the clout is currency. So the more clout you have, the more you're worth. Is what people think.
I believe so.
So would you say that the social media kind of ruined the dating scene?
I believe it did, but it also kind of benefits a little bit. One, because social media, you have a much better way of actually being connected to somebody in real time, so you can kind of see their stories, you can see their status updates and stuff like that. So you'll actually get that real time update from the person. But at the same time, I also do think it did impact the way how we see people and the way we set up our standards.
You think seeing them as in like, what would you say, 75% of the shit ain't real?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's not just if it's real or not. It's just nowadays, like what you post on social media, what do you really post? You only post the good times. You only post kind of clout stuff, like where you going,
status,
or
stuff
like
you bought,
to uplift your status. For example, per se, my situation right now, like I'm sick and stuff like that, and then people are like, hey, like you're posting this and that.
Like we don't want to see that shit.
Like how are you like sick but you're posting this and that? Like, well, I'm sorry, like you don't know me, you know my social media. You don't know the actual person behind the account. You're just going based on what's on that account. And that's another. I do feel like that social media, it is not an issue, because yes, it does expand you to like meet more people, around the world. But if you think about it, back in the days when people would actually date, they would actually date the person, not the profile. They would actually get to know the person.
I agree with that.
Yeah, like they would actually try to get to know each other. Like back in the days, it was more like, oh, let's go movie dates, or oh, let's ice cream dates. Like it was just more like doing outing stuff, like getting to know the person. Now you don't even get to know the person, you get to know their account.
Yeah, and then when you do go out, or even if you're out by yourself or with your friends, and let's say you go to like a Fridays type of event, you're chilling at the bar and you take a look around the room, you see all the couples, if they're dating or whatever, they're on their phone. They're not communicating, trying to get to know that person one-on-one.
Half of people that are eating from each other are actually engaged, having conversations, and the other time it's like picking up their food, picture of it on the phone, responding, like
take a bite of food, pick the phone back up,
like crazy. Or you would go somewhere, stand in line, like maybe like last year, like after COVID was like done, I was in line, taking a break real quick. I turn around, look in line, like everybody's standing in line at DMV, and I'm like, everybody's on their phone. Man,
trying to take a picture of the food. Like, hold on, don't eat it.
It's crazy.
Like, let me snap this.
But if
can I just eat my food?
if this hasn't happened to you, like, I mean, to give our guy subscribers like an impression of that they're trying to lead with their Instagram or lead with their lifestyle, you know, saying off of what they're showing the women. Have you yourself, or do you know any girls that like actually go on the dates and they're with the guy and they be like, I thought you were somebody else. Like the stuff I saw on Instagram, like we're not doing any of that right now. I thought you had money and like you brought me to Denny's. Like what the hell is this? Like
they show all kinds of.
Has that ever happened to you, or do you know anybody?
Oh yeah, it's happened as like with guys and girls. Like sometimes you can be like seeing this girl like is so fine, has really good pictures and everything, and then you see her in person like, damn girl, those filters are really.
Yeah, some really good filters.
Yeah, literally, you know. Or like with the guys, it's like you said per se, like they like be flashing, you know, all this stuff and everything like that. You meet them, they could barely even pay the bill.
So it's happened to you personally yourself?
Honestly, I really wouldn't say it has. Like, it's kind of weird. I sometimes feel like I don't belong in this generation because the people that I've actually dated, but I can't even say, like, you know, it's been a good thing. Like, the people I've actually dated, like, I met in person. Like, I really
never... So it wasn't even social media?
No.
Oh, that's rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you normally date people around your age or higher, lower, or what's your age bracket?
I used to be really, like, how do I say this? I would always be like, if I'm gonna date, I'm gonna date older or not my age. Because, for example, per se, the father of my kid, yeah, we were the same age, but it was crazy. Even though we were the same age, it was just mentality wise.
You weren't there.
Yeah, like I was way more advanced. He was like just
immature.
I wouldn't say immature. I would say more like I wanted more. I wanted to push more, and he was like, "Nah, I'm happy with this." And then, like, I'm relaxed, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it was just like, "Nah, I want more."
He don't have that drive that you needed.
Yeah. So to me, it was just kind of like, I'm sorry, like, you know, I just seem to be like we outgrew each other, and I don't have hate for him. You know, I wish him nothing but the best. But I just came to realize that it's just we outgrew each other. You know, like we didn't have the same goals, we didn't have the same mentalities. And that's another part why relationships fail, because you don't really get to know the person. You know, like
sounded like you outgrew him, kind of like you wanted more, and he was just there.
And he was like, "I'm doing enough to survive. I'm good."
Yeah, and for me, it was like no, like coming from my background, like my family, you know, them struggling and everything like that. Like I was like, nah, like I don't want to be in the same cycle. Like I want to push for more. You want to stay right there, like that's fine. You know, like stay right there. But you know, that's not me.
Yeah, I think I like to teach guys that too. Like when I make my videos, I always like let guys know that like you being with a woman and you're content on your lifestyle, and you don't like want more. The woman's only gonna tolerate it like so long. Especially like they want to see growth, they want stability. And if you're in the same spot, how much stability is that? You can't provide any security. Then like especially if she's a working woman herself. Like if she's working, outgrowing you, and you're just still there, it'll make the relationship just go away. You have to always want more and it be more, or be at your best before you even get in a relationship. That way that you have a lot to bring to the table versus like when you guys are building with each other and the woman's kind of upscaling you a little bit, it'll make her just, she'll resent you. Like it won't work.
Well, I feel like it's just, the problem is that people are not compromising. People are not working together. It's just like you see your woman, she's independent, she's doing more. You're like, oh man, like, you know, you feel some type of way, and it's just like, I don't care what guys say, but nowadays they don't really care for independent girl. Like they just like, in their head they're like, oh, this girl thinks she's too much. Oh, this girl's being too much. Oh, this girl is moving too much, you know, or she doesn't want more. Like it's like you're kind of dragging like your mentality about that person, but instead of you actually seeing and appreciating the independence of that person, it's like, what if like instead of you having a woman of a leech, you actually have a hustler? What if you guys actually compromise and actually communicate and actually, you know, try to get one goal, you know? Because at the same time, you know, this is a fucked up world, and if you're fighting one another, then you're pretty much getting nowhere.
Yeah, basically.